In terms of world title ramifications, you've got Stephanie Gilmore, Nikki Van Dijk, and Caroline Marks. On paper, you'd have to say Stephanie with the edge, the veteran in this heat. But take nothing away from Nikki and Caroline, both surfers with intent and potential to win this entire event.
All those little things come into play. Nikki Van Dijk opened her account, getting that inside position off Stephanie Gilmore, and a couple of nice turns to start this heat. So Nikki Van Dijk, watch out for her. I mean, she is in good form this year. I was an early guy, yeah. I like to get up early and get it going.
Well, here we go. Speaking of getting it going, Stephanie Gilmore on her backhand, always smooth, nicely placed on her first and second turn. So not pushing things there, but that's how you start your heat. You know, you lock in one score. It might not be an 8, but if you can lock yourself in with a 4, maybe a 5, that's a great start.
And that board just did not want to cooperate. Steph Gilmore, on the other hand, can see how she goes from the bottom of the wave to the top of the wave. So able to get that fin set, get that rail in the water, give herself some time to commit those turns. Right there, beautiful snap off the top for Steph Gilmore. This is about 60% of Stephanie Gilmore. She's kind of in second gear right now, but that's what you want to do. Get that first wave under your belt, get that confidence up. Look here.
Oh, on command. Caroline Marks on her forehand. Our first look at a goofy footer today. Oh, an error for Caroline Marks. Looked like something happened there, maybe indecision. You saw her heels come up off of her board. She's 16 years old, the youngest surfer to ever qualify for the championship tour at age 15.
So he knows how to, structure a heat, how to put that together, strategies, game plans, etc., etc.
We'll see if that coaching will help for now, and it already appears to have done that, wiping off an early mistake. Caroline Marks now blasting her tail out on the second turn. Quick combination, like switchblade surfing right there. Yep. Snap, blowing the tail, all in the span of about 20 meters. Yep. As Caroline Marks now will be back on the board.
Let's have a look here. She takes off, draws nice to the bottom, a little bit of a sort of a check turn, double pump to finish strong. Didn't really put a hell of a lot into that last turn. Just wanted to make sure she finished this wave on her feet. Smart surfing there from Caroline, just, getting that confidence back. Okay, that first wave mistake, gone. I'm back on track, back in the mix.
So now with 23 minutes on the clock, all the scores for these first waves are locked in. Steph Gilmore getting the best of it with a 6, and she's at it again. Quick snap to start off for Steph Gilmore. Their setup maneuver through this mid portion of the wave as it flattens out. So where she'll try to make that transition, always silky smooth with the serpentine flow. All the way from the outside, straight to the inside. Now she gets to go vertical. Another quick snap, so 6 turns in the bag for Steph, and only one of them really consequential. But when you add all those turns together, it's undeniable for the judges, even though they weren't, those wild, outrageous backside hooks. And look at that wave as an overall picture. That's going to be a solid backup score for Stephanie Gilmore.
100%. Smart move again from Stephanie Gilmore. Just to get this wave, it's that extra confidence builder. The more waves you catch, the more comfortable you start feeling. And you can see how she's starting to work this wave out, finding the little sweet spot. Now she goes bang off the top, and then another vertical snap. So when you look at that wave, I mean, that was really well put together. Nice, clean, mistake-free surfing. Might not be as big as her 6, but it's going to be a solid backup, and it's going to put her in a real good position going into this next 20 minutes.
But getting right back at it, the positive attitude comes back. They'll go home. Team right will reconfigure and then head to Bali.
Yeah, exactly right. And we'll see Nikki Van Dijk up and riding, currently in second spot. This is definitely better from Nikki. Way more attack on this wave, finishing strong. So 5.33 on her first wave. Nice wide stance, real solid on her feet is Nikki Van Dijk. Beautiful bottom turn, straight up through the lip. Now that's where you're looking at good points coming from those vertical maneuvers.
There's the spray we're looking for.
There's the spray we're looking for, and then finishing strong. So joining the dots nicely, putting everything together.
A little too far in the air, extending over the section, going down, and now she gets to watch the Steph Gilmore show. A Stephanie on her backhand. Quick snap, but just missed time there when the oncoming lip goes down. Now we might see a little bit of a paddle battle here. Caroline Marks will find herself at the back of the line, even though she caught a wave before Stephanie Gilmore. Now we go back outside to Nikki Van Dijk, straight back into a gem of a wave. Extended bottom turn, open face, backside hook, now back up into the lip. Nikki Van Dijk is feeling it. Her last score comes through a 5.3. adding pressure to Steph Gilmore and Caroline Marks.
Yeah, well, that put her right up in that first spot. She's going to put another good score on the board and come in and get the jet ski. Let's have a look. Good solid wave here for Nikki Van Dijk. I like the way she goes all the way to the bottom, draws out those bottom turns, and then wham, into the lip. Beautiful snap there from Nikki. You can see the fins popping out on the bottom, which means she's putting that board right over on the rail, and then that critical turn into the lip. So Nikki Van Dijk feeling it, starting to really warm up.
And happening for the past 20 or so minutes, 10.5 to go. Here's a look back at what happened during that break. It wasn't Caroline, it was Stephanie Gilmore.
Yeah, Steph Gilmore just making sure, you know, keeping that ball rolling. She's starting to really warm up. A big turn off the top from Steph Gilmore and just goes for a little bit too much at the end. But I like the attack mode that she's starting to bring.
I like this wave.
Yeah, beautiful wave here from Steph Gilmore. Nikki Van Dijk just locked in a good score of a 5.93, increasing her lead. Steph just not finishing that turn off there, a little bit late to that section. But nonetheless, one of the best scores of the heat just got locked in from Steph Gilmore.
We know she's capable of huge things. Just needs to be given that chance. Here goes Nikki on her backhand. Big opening snap, releasing the fins. Comes around a quick section, up into the lip. A huge finishing snap floater combo for Nikki Van Dijk. The backside hit of the contest so far. Luke Egan versus Jake Patterson.
Yeah,
what a matchup that would be.
That would be a great one.
1:45 to go. Nikki Van Dijk now serving with so much confidence. It could be so easy to be intimidated and rattled by Steph Gilmore, one of the winningest female surfers of all time. But Nikki rising to the occasion, coming in with 1:30 to go.
You could see she was just building, getting stronger. The confidence was coming through. She was identifying the good waves. I mean, she didn't put a foot wrong. Every wave is kind of a keeper, really. And then finishing off this last wave here with a 5.3. So every single wave, you know, really up there past average.
Look at that scoreline.
I know, incredible stuff. I mean, her scoreline was, you know, her throwaways were good enough to almost win that first heat.